Welcome back to another episode of Eight Queens Roundtable Show and Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison. So I have to say, these Born to Lead episodes are so exciting for me. And of course, we're going to be talking a lot about the symposium Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within, that is coming up September the 9th and the 10th. There's an awesome lineup. I'm just excited. I'm excited about all of my virtual symposiums, but this one especially because it is, or the whole movement itself started from the book titled Awakening the Lead, or I'm sorry, Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within, which was actually launched last September. So September of 2022 was when we actually launched the book, and it's an awesome lineup. And the book was I originally came up with the idea to acknowledge the innate leadership abilities in African American women, right? So the book is really great. If you don't have it, you need to grab your copy. It basically, each co-author tells their story about awakening the leader within, or how they became to accept or became to see themselves as a leader. And they go on to provide different tips and tools about how to basically up your leadership game. Okay. And that's what the book is about. And we insert different quotes from a lot of powerful women women of the past, actually past and present. So it's intertwined very nicely. So again, I'm sure you can resonate with either myself or any of the other co-authors in the book. And it can help you personally, professionally, as well as help you to hone in and to fine tune your leadership skills. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up my guests today. They're going to introduce themselves and just tell you a little bit about themselves. All right, so let's bring them on in. Okay. All right. Hello, ladies. Hello.
Hello.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with you, Dr. Karen. Welcome back to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let everyone know a little bit about who you are and who you serve, please.
Absolutely. I am Dr. Karen. I'm known as a C-suite strategist. I generally work with female middle managers seeking senior leadership positions. And what we usually work on is leading people, leading change using technology and analytics. And so if you ever knew anybody who struggled from trying to get from middle management to leadership and just couldn't cross all the way through to offer to employment, then I am the person for them, because I have walked the walk and talked the talk, worked my way all the way up from the front line to the C-suite, where I remain. And now I'm giving away all the tricks of the trade through my Sister Leaders community. And we do it through our Sister Leaders Conference and our Sister Leaders Academy. And so I am excited to be here to party with Dr. Jacqueline again and all the other Sister Leaders. And hello.
And let me just say, we said it before backstage, y'all, but she is rocking that hat, right? She is rocking it out. All right. And again, it's always a pleasure to have you and to be able to, you have so much knowledge and so much expertise. And like you said, we are able to benefit from that. And, my ears is always open, so I can learn more. But thank you again for being here. So, Dr. Lovella, welcome back to the platform. Well, wait a minute. No, is it? I can't remember. Is this your first or second time on the platform? But
My
at
first
any
time,
rate,
actually.
Oh, okay. Because we work together. That's right. Because we work together for your Economic Disruptors Summit, and then I think we met through another global leader, Jeanette. So no, I'm sorry, Janine.
Janine.
I call her Jeanette. Janine. So
Mhm.
welcome to A Queen's Roundtable Show. And I'm super excited that you're going to be participating in this particular virtual symposium, Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. And you are also, oh, I'm sorry, y'all. So let me just introduce this real quick to everybody. Dr. Karen and Dr. Lovella are both keynote speakers for the symposium next month. And Angela Lewis was actually one of the co-authors. So she's joining us today as well. So Dr. Lovella, sorry, I kind of approached on you a little bit there, but go ahead, please introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about who you are and who you serve in your business and how you serve.
And thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this amazing, impacting platform, Dr. Jacqueline, and also for the panelists that's on the platform as well. I am Dr. Lovella Mogere. I am Leaders of Leaders, and one of the, and I said area or realm or place or space that I occupy is dealing with leaders who lead differently to the cultural of DNA innovation. And what does that mean? Or what does that look like? Gathering leaders who maneuver, implement, execute differently and or uniquely, and having the ability to draw them out or bring them out in a sense from the back side and now to the forefront, and now introducing their model. Now, what does their model look like, and how can they impact their community, and how are they impacting their community? And so I serve in many facets in the sense of from ministry, also life coaching, and also I'm an entrepreneur as well.
All right, awesome. And I know I know towards the end you'll let us know about everything that you have coming up because
Yes, ma'am.
I know you have a host of you're wanted in a lot of different places globally. So you can tell us a little bit more about that towards the end of the show. But thank you for
Will
being
do.
here.
Thank you so much.
Angela, you were up next. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. As she said, I am Angela A. Love Lewis. My platform is the Win Media platform, where I really help people to get their voices and their visibility out there. So, in the Win platform, which stands for We Empower Network, we have We Empower Network and We Empower Nation. So, I started off really catering to women, and then I decided that men need to have their voices out there as well. And what we do together as women, bringing the men in, just gives us a stronger community. So I'm able to, help people with book publishing. We are putting together a network where people can bring their content on and really talk about what it means to be empowered. And so I'm so grateful to be in this space. As Jacqueline said, I am one of the co-authors of the book, Born to Lead, and it's just been an amazing experience. And I also had the pleasure of working with Dr. Karen on her Sister Leaders platform as well. So I'm just excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to have all of you here. And Angela, it's always a pleasure working with you. We've collaborated several times over the years. So, and it's always a pleasure working with you. So, before we get started, again, this just kind of hit me. So, let's each, or I'd like for you to hear from you ladies, let the audience know why this is an important topic for you, like why you decided to basically participate in this particular symposium, and obviously, Angela, for you, why you decided to participate in the anthology. So we'll go in the same order. We'll start with Dr. Karen, then Dr. Lovella, and then Angela.
For me, it is right down my lane. When you're talking about leadership, this year I am really focusing in on individuals tapping into their entrepreneurship versus entrepreneurship. How do you operate within the corporate structure? And so when you say awakening, awakening, I help people to realize that just because you work for someone else does not mean that you cannot exhibit the same competencies as if you work for yourself. Because most entrepreneurs used to be before they become entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs. And so the topic itself, leadership, women, that is all in my wheelhouse. And I like the concept of awakening, because sometimes we don't tap into those core competencies that we already have. We don't put them in the forefront and use them enough to our advantage when it comes to our career as a gender for women leaders.
Okay. And I wondered about that too, because I know that that's your title. And so, what's the title of your keynote?
I think it is awakening the entrepreneurship. I forgot what it is, but it's something about awakening the entrepreneurship within your corporate career or something like that.
Yeah, I knew it was it's intrapreneurship.
Correct.
And I
Correct.
that kind of, I said, okay. I said, I like that. I can't wait to hear a little bit more about that. Okay. All right. I
Awesome.
like that. Beautiful. Dr. Lovella?
Oh, why this topic resonates with me. Being that we have a new breed of entrepreneurs, not only on the scene or on the rise, is causing one or allowing one to be able to maneuver in the being of the essence of who they are, because we could so very well be trapped into the imprints or the expression of a leader that we were connected to, or in sense of work, or by way of when I said undergirding of that leader. And in doing so, based on the influence, one could literally, when I said hide under the influence and not recognize their wiring and the essence of who they are as a leader. And so with that, what I do, one of my courses that I offer is called Leadership Revamp, where we do a mind audit and literally attest or go into the vision. What's the vision? How do you think? How are you wired? What's the imprint? What's the blueprint? What does your model of business look like in the next 5, 15, 10 years? Can you articulate the vision? And you'll be surprised, but we have a lot of leaders they don't know how to articulate the vision. How do they articulate the vision? And so in that way, we're able to, or they're able to be that impactful leader, that and globally, and then also identifying their reach. And so once they understand how they're wired, then they'll be able to be settled in their own skin and now be able to build that blueprint or that model, though it might be different, though it might be unique. And also, just because they have parallel vision, that doesn't mean that you have to stop building what has been given or entrusted to you, because of you're the one that stewards that vision. So what does it look like? So that's why I draw out, speak to the mind of the leader, and please tell me, share with me, yet what does that vision look like? So my topic is dealing with innovative leaders, the behavior of a leader, how they think, how they're wired, how their openness, their weakness, and strong points as a leader, and can their vision be able to thrive and strive in this time and decade? Will it survive the next 5 years, 10 years? Being that AI is strongly on the verge, can people or their employees strive and thrive in their vision? In their vision, will they be able to suffocate? Will they be able to see it? Can they carry the legacy and carry that vision of their business or the model for the next 5 and 10 years? So that's the essence of it. Again, the topic is innovative leaders, their behaviors and traits.
Okay. Wonderful. So funny that you put that out there about the AI, because it's just everywhere, just
Thank you.
it just amazes me, just the different things that they come up with. But you're right. I mean, it's something that we need to think about and we need to be prepared for. So, okay, well, thank you, Angela. So I know, you don't have a topic, because you're not participating, but again, just share with us kind of why this is important. Like, why are symposiums such as this important, and these sort of platforms discussing leadership important to you?
You know what, Jacqueline, I think what really resonated with me when you came out with the book project, when you talk about awakening the leader within, I think so many of us as women, and Dr. Lovella said it, we're wired a lot of times to play small and play behind the scenes and really play down our strengths. And when you said awaken the leader within, we're all born with something. You have to lead yourself before you can lead anyone else. And so if you start thinking that, you know what, I have some skill sets, maybe it's organization, maybe it's communication, maybe it's being able to cheer somebody on, whatever that looks like, I think that we are at a time now where it's time to really tap in and share with other people that you are a leader. Don't play yourself small. Don't shrink back thinking that you don't have anything to offer. Don't feel intimidated because other people are in the room that you may feel like have more credentials, maybe more, educated or what have you. That doesn't diminish who you are and the leader that is within inside you. And so as you lead yourself, if you can start helping people to see that and mirror that, then you can position them in themselves to where not only are you leading yourself well, but maybe you can start leading someone else, whether that's your children, else in the family who looks at you as a role model, or whether it's stepping out and doing what Dr. Lovella and Dr. Karen and yourself are doing. Everybody has a place, but a leader within you. All you have to do is awaken it and watch how your life changes as a result of it.
Sorry. Ooh, this is so powerful. And this topic for me is just, I mean, here's the way I envisioned it, and the reason that I originally wanted to do this book, this anthology, was because I have interviewed so many women over the years since the start of my business in 2017, and a lot of us account similar stories, such as, growing up being told to be seen, or we were supposed to be seen and not heard, or, oh, you're just too loud, or not everyone wants to know what you think, just things of that nature. And, seeing these types of things from our mothers, our grandmothers, aunts, so forth, and it kind of being reinforced, and a lot of us having these innate leadership abilities, but like how Angela said, just kind of shrinking down and, not really wanting to accept it, and actually kind of playing into the whole idea of, oh, you're too bossy, and the thing of it is, we've watched our mothers, our aunts, our grandmothers basically, run a household, even if you're not, I don't want to say, even if you're not in corporate, but running a household is a lot, you know. And as I started looking at that, like I said, I started hearing these similar stories, and mine is very similar. And hearing the whole idea of being seen and not heard, and how that manifests itself in everyday life. I wanted to be able to bring that to the table, and to not only talk about it and increase awareness, but to let women that are shrinking back and reluctant to see themselves as leaders, I wanted them to know that, I wanted them to kind of come out of the shadows, accept it, acknowledge it, and basically, learn how to be a better leader. And I can't remember, someone, mentioned it earlier, but about knowing what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are as a leader. So being able to draw those women out that are shrinking down and not, not walking in it, if you will. And those women that are already doing it, but to be, and to be able to help them fine tune their skills, because we have strengths and we have weaknesses. And when we learn what those weaknesses, or, areas that we need to work on, let's say areas that we need to work on, when we learn what they are, we can begin to work on it. And what comes out of that, you become a more effective leader. And my target audience is women in business, right? So, and it was mentioned before, you have to lead, you're leading yourself first, your household, your children, at your Fortune 500 company, your own business, or even if you're doing both, whichever, right? But to be able to learn how to fine tune those skills to be able to scale your business. Like I said, and that's, because that's my target population, is helping Black women in business and teaching them the personal, professional leadership development in order to help them scale their business, whatever they want to do in their business. Okay. So this is, I love this. Okay. So everyone's had an opportunity to speak, to let us know a little bit about why this topic in itself is important to you. So well, first of all, is there anyone that kind of wants to piggyback on anything that anyone has said thus far?
I'd like to add, when you use the word weaknesses, I know why we use the word weaknesses, but I hate that word. And so I always say opportunities for development, because we have strengths and we have opportunities for development. I'd rather use that instead of weaknesses, because we all can't be experts in every category. But so we will have opportunities to build on certain areas that we are not like experts in, because everybody can't be an expert in everything. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a weakness. In the corporate world, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a weakness. It just may not be your highest skill, because you may be skilled highly in some other things. And so when we use the word weakness, sometimes it kind of makes me cringe. And as someone who works with senior leaders to devise blueprints for their career, we that sounds funny. We conduct a SWOT analysis, a personal SWOT analysis. And of course, with SWOT, it is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. But I asked them to look at the weaknesses as opportunities for development. And it's not necessarily in a negative way. It is just, it may not be your top area of expertise. You can still be baseline and still be effective. It's just not your top area expertise. So I just wanted to add a different way to look at weaknesses for those who may think that they're weaknesses, because they may very well be effective, but it's not their top area expertise.
Yeah, you're right. Because the word weakness, and like you said, it's reframing it. You know what I mean? Because like you said, the word weakness sounds
belittling, but at the same time, it's not true. And I love the way you said that, Dr. Karen. When I said in a sense of bringing it to the table and giving one an expansive way of viewing it, because when you hear the word weakness, again, one tend to try to belittle or dig away or cut away. When I said dig in or press down on themselves, but when we're talking about weaknesses in the sense, and in a sense is where strong points, because one could concentrate on we're talking about business and leaders, one could concentrate in the areas of products and services, and they might not have the financial intelligence in a sense to create a business plan or whatever. And just like Dr. Karen said, so that is a weakness in the sense that I don't know about financial analysts, I don't know what such and such. So when we're talking about weakness, we're not talking about the core of belittling you, but in a sense of an area that needs strength or balance. And also, because I'm hearing this now, even for those that you might not have the financial intelligence or even the blueprint or the business plan, and as a leader, like Dr. Jacqueline says, to be more effective, you might say, look, I'm having a problem with these numbers, I can't crunch it. This is where you will outsource or collaborate in exchange for services to be that effective leader, because now you're assessing, hey, I know a little bit about this. It is a weakness. It's pulling me down, but I need to balance the scale or balance who I am as an effective leader. And for now, it's time for you to outsource or go beyond yourself to be able to collab. Strong, effective leaders collab, work together. And now that weakness or that weak point has now become balance, and now you're no longer, when I say now you have leverage, and now you're no longer pulling or strain in that area, because now you have extended yourself and becoming more effective and more powerful in your way, in your intelligence, in your services, and while you are growing beyond your checks and balances, if you say. So thank you so much for collaborating on that or expanding on that, Dr. Karen.
Oh, I thought Dr. Angela was going to chime in and say something. So this is awesome, and this is really my thing. I love it. So thank you all for sharing that and to bringing your perspective. And I want to say that working as well, obviously I have my own business, right? But I'm also a therapist. And I work all the time with people and helping them to reframe things. And it takes away that whole negative the whole negative way, because like you said, Dr. Karen, initially when people hear weakness, it's something negative associated, it's something a negative associated with that. So thank the both of you for helping to reframe that, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people probably think the same thing. I guess like for me, when I think of one of my areas that I need some improvement in is the tech area. Okay. So I don't proclaim to be a tech person at all. I kind of blunder through. I'm just keeping it real. I kind of blunder through until something works out. Right. But then the minute I feel like I've mastered something, so to speak, they change it. And then I'm in a whole other like, oh my God, what am I doing? What do I do now? So, but at any rate, I've grown to know that there are certain areas in my business, and okay, the reason that this is important, let me say this, is because when you know what those areas are, you can work to improve them, right? Like work on your own mental space to improve them, or like Dr. Lovella was talking about earlier, outsource. Like I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. Like I have no problems with letting someone else do it. You know what I mean? Especially if that's their area of expertise and that's their jam, you have at it. I like dealing with people. I like talking to people. I like asking a lot of questions. Of course, I'm a therapist, right? So that's my thing. Get me out there. Let me talk to the people, find out who feels what and who wants to do what and organize something. I'm good, you know. So, but this is good. I love it. I love it. Dr.
Can I say
Angela, I think
something?
you went with it. Yes, go ahead.
I like what you said. I'm gonna go back to Dr. Karen, because I think a lot of times when you hear the word weakness, you feel like it's overwhelming, because you feel like if I'm weak in the area, it's going to take a lot, and I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to feel like a failure. And so you don't put yourself in a position to learn or try and do to get to the next level. But when you say opportunities for development, that's a little easier. That's like taking some medicine with a little sugar. You know what I'm saying? It sweetens it up a little bit where you're like, okay, I'm going to try it and I may learn a little something with it. And I think when you remove that barrier, because the work sometimes will have you over here, thinking that you cannot accomplish things. But if I say you have an opportunity for development, now you switch the thing where people feel a little bit more confident, like, okay, well, let me kind of just see what steps are you using? Okay, just show me and let me see. And I think that's a huge game changer for people who may feel like they weren't good in school. And a lot of times it's not that you weren't good in school, it's just the method you were being taught didn't resonate with you. And maybe had someone else taken a different approach, it would have given you more insight so that you could have absorbed the information better. Because Jacqueline, just like you said with tech, it's hard for a lot of people. And so you would just rather not even fool with it. But if you know there's an opportunity for it, you may say, okay, well, I'm not going to say I'm going to be a graphic artist here anytime soon, but I may be able to go into Canva and create me a flyer and, take baby steps to get to that level. So I love that because it helps people to see themselves as accomplishing a goal versus not even trying because you already see yourself as a failure in it.
Yeah. And thank you so much for that, Angela, for saying that, because Dr. Karen is teaching us how to change the lens of our perspective. Mm-hmm. And now here you come telling us that we have to change the game as the leaders, and which is true. How do we know and how do we detect that it's time to change the game? And in reality, based on the mental capacity that you and Dr. Karen have for leaders, that's causing one to, and Dr. Jacqueline, the reality of is, you're speaking of a leader that's transparent with themselves and they know that they have to level up and they know that they have to change the game. And right now we're speaking to different levels of leadership that's looking for, I need to change or make change, but do they look within? And like the topic on today is, we have to first awaken within. And so you know how it is, we will look on the outside and try to pull from the outside without changing within. So in order for us to change, like Dr. Karen is saying, change the perspective of our lens and how we see things based on verbiage and articulation. And here you come, Karen, it's like, look, this is a game changer. You need to get it. You need to level up. When do we level up? How do we level up? And what phase do we level up as we are leaders, as we are leading within? So I'm telling you, this is good, Dr. Jacqueline.
You know what? Whenever all of you ladies talk about leadership, I could tell that this is something that really speaks to your heart. And that makes me feel good, because I know that I've, chosen the right individuals to take this walk and to bring more awareness about leadership. Now I've gotten so carried away. I forgot I did want to take a quick commercial break. So just give it a second, everyone. I'm gonna share a couple of commercials with you, and just hang tight. Also, let me say this too. Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within is available on Amazon as well as the Barnes & Noble app. So if you have not got your copy, make sure you get it. Okay, just want to throw that out there. Plug. All right, so we will be right back in one minute.
Realizing Your Potential LLC presents Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. This anthology brings together women that have overcome hardships in their lives and have managed not only to survive, but thrive. Their stories focus on resiliency, adaptability, and strength, acknowledging the innate strength and leadership qualities in African American women.
You are a high performing woman, weighed down by so many commitments, and you're expected to excel at every one, every time. And you do, but it comes at a cost: stress, overwhelm, little time for yourself, and so many feelings of guilt. My friend, it's time you give yourself what you give to others. Join the 3-day Trip into Wellness Challenge and invest in yourself and your well-being. Visit determinedlyready.com to learn more.
All right, and we are back. We are back. Okay, so this discussion is really getting good. So again, join us next month for the Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within virtual symposium. And actually go ahead and register, well, shall I say, purchase your tickets on Eventbrite. The way the virtual event is set up, it's 2 days. It's September the 9th and the 10th. And September the 9th is the all day workshops. So that's going, so basically, come ready to work. There's going to be different presenters. Once you pay your flat fee, you will have access to all of the workshops that are going on that day, Saturday, September the 9th. Again, we're going to be having, let me see, I'm just trying to think. I have a total of 4 workshops. 4 workshops. So again, once you pay your flat fee, you can attend one or all of the workshops. And like I said, come prepared to work, because the idea is that it's going to be interactive. You will have the opportunity to ask the presenter questions, and obviously you'll be able to connect with the other participants that are participating. So you can do some networking, learn more about leadership, and that's Saturday. And then the entertainment is going to be intertwined in between the different presentations. And then Sunday, September the 10th, is going to be the lineup for the keynote speakers. Okay. And again, the entertainment will be in between the speakers. So head over to Eventbrite, go ahead, register, grab your ticket, make sure it's in your calendar, and be ready to rock and roll September the 9th and 10th. I'm trying to think, did I miss anything? No, I think that's everything. And it's all virtual. Okay. All right. So we have really covered a lot of ground here. And I guess what I want to do now is I want to end on the note of, I want the audience, well, first of all, if there's any closing comments, I guess, or aha moments, or anything that you ladies would like to share with the audience, as far as just your take on leadership, why this is important, why they need to make sure that they tune in to the actual virtual symposium. So any any closing remarks or any piggybacks or take note of or anything like that that anyone wants to share?
I can start. So for me, it certainly definitely get your ticket through Eventbrite. I'm going to be talking about entrepreneurship. I'm going to help you identify which leadership style in an entrepreneur that you are, whether or not you are a visionary, a big picture person, whether or not you're a creator, a details person, or whether or not you're a change maker, which is the spokesperson. And so those are just three of the leadership styles that I'm going to be talking about in detail. But every one of those roles are extremely important for an organization or a business, because you're not going anywhere if you don't have a vision. And then you don't know whether or not you're ready for organizational readiness, whether or not you have the talent, the processes, and the systems in place. So are you the creator? And then the change maker is the person who advocates and gets the buy-in from everybody else and explains to everybody why we need the change and why now and all those things. And so you need to be able to identify who are you sitting at the table, because a generalist is good. A generalist understands how everything works together, but a specialist, when you have to have a specialty, and I require all of my clients to have a specialty, a specialist saves the day, because a specialist is the person that an organization looks to when they have trouble in that particular area. So I am excited about individuals being able to awaken and identify their competencies in entrepreneurship.
Wow. So your presentation is going to include all of that, Dr. Karen?
Absolutely, positively.
Wow. Ooh, okay. All right. So
Yes.
listen, y'all make sure now when you go to Eventbrite, you get your ticket. Make sure you take note of what time everybody's coming on. Wow, I'm gonna have to make sure. I'm gonna have to check this one out. This is gonna be awesome. And get a pen and a pad. Okay. All right. So Dr. Lovella.
Dr. Karen, I'm coming to your workshop. Okay. Again, don't forget to register. Please share the link. Tell someone that this workshop is not going to only empower, but it's also going to activate the leader in you, awaken the leader in you. And for those that's trying to figure out the type or the model of leadership that you are, please, again, get a friend, tell a friend, share the link. This, I'm telling you, you're going to walk away with so much nuggets, and you can tell based on the sound of leadership, the model of leadership that's on this platform. You register on today. And if Dr. Jacqueline would also put the link in the bottom of the comments, again, share the link and with someone, tell a friend, share the friend. And my session is going to be on innovative leaders, those that are disruptors, or those that think out of the box and they're not afraid to take risks. Those that are problem solver, we call them the solutionists, that have the ability to recognize and capitalize on the opportunities ahead, or opportunities now, or season the moment. And like Dr. Jacqueline said, what would be our advice? My advice to you is move with the time or the timing. A lot of us, because we don't know who we are, still trying to figure life and figure out what's going on based on the timing of who we are, we put things on the shelf. But can I tell you that the dream that you put on the shelf is now chasing you? We were chasing dreams. Now the dream is chasing you. And I would leave you with this: based on the strategies that was given to you 5 years ago, that might not be the strategies that you have to implement to build that model, to build that business. So be in tune with yourself. Be in tune and accept your wiring, and be in tune and listen as you are researching what's trending, and listen to the voice within in regards to the strategy and the innovative building to execute as you are pioneering as a leader.
Yes, love it, love it. Dr. Angela.
So I would say that you've already heard it here from these two amazing speakers. So you should be running to Eventbrite. You should have beat us there and went ahead and got your ticket by now. And I would say that I've been involved with Dr. Jacqueline on a lot of different projects, and she's never disappointed with the symposium. So this is definitely a place to be. And what I would like to add to it, award-winning author Toni Morrison said, "You are your best thing." With that being said, you need to invest in your leadership. You need to invest in information with people who will help you define the type of leader that you are. Sometimes as you go through life, you're showing up, but you can always show up better. See, leadership is not a destination, it's a journey. As you go through leadership, you're going through and you're meeting people and you're defining who you are. And you're seeing that there's different skill sets that can be tapped into and developed even more. But enjoy the journey, because as you do, you're meeting people and you're learning, and you don't know where that learning is going to come from. You can sit in on this session and you can find out from both Dr. Karen and Dr. Lovella something about you and your leadership style that can change the entire game of what you've been doing, or help you to bring up a new young leader, help them to develop. So whatever it is, just know that you are your best thing. Always, always, always invest in you.
You know what? Here I go again. Thank you so much, Angela. Okay, so this hit my spirit now too. So, what advice would you ladies give? Because we're all seasoned here, and so what advice would you give to the young leaders? When I say young, I mean, this is a whole new generation that's coming out now. Okay, they are hitting the ground running. They are not. Well, like I know from my generation, I was always taught to go to school, get a good education, and get a good job. Well, I was going to work somewhere, and I'm in Michigan, so this is the home of Ford, Chrysler, GM, a lot when I was coming up, it definitely wasn't a lot of talk about us as women being entrepreneurs. Well, entrepreneurship in general, much less a woman. So for those young ladies that are like 18, 19, early 20s, what advice would you give to them as it pertains to leadership? You don't have to answer, but is it hitting anybody? Does anyone have anything they want to share? Okay, Dr. Karen.
So I'll share. Of course, my specialty is management, organizational leadership, and human resources. And so I get to see the results of individuals who are graduating from high school and or college, or even have an advanced degree. And I would tell you that now our younger people are the most educated people who are entering the workforce, but there's not enough focus on the people skills. Not enough focus on the people skills. And the new currency for now is your interaction, your currency of relationships. Relationships is the new currency. Relationships can save you years of networking up and down the chain and networking within your industry if you cultivate the right relationships. And so I would tell a young person to not only continue to create those technical skills and get that education, that experience in those technical skills, but do not overlook and overshadow the value of interaction with real people. And I think if you balance out those technical skills, we talk about emotional intelligence and all of that stuff, but there's not enough focus on it because, again, they are the most educated, but there is opportunities for development in the area of interacting with people. And so make sure you balance out your dossier, make sure you balance out your resume with your people skills.
One little quick tidbit, because I know you other two probably want to say something too. There was a dance studio that I visited here in the Metro Detroit area, young African-American couple. And it looked awesome online, and it is awesome. But my point is that when I came into the studio, I could tell that the individuals really didn't have a lot of people skills, like they were really good tech stuff and, just real bottom line. But I could tell that interacting was just not their thing. So that's just the first thing that kind of came to my mind when you said that, Dr. Karen. Okay, so Dr. Lovella or Angela, any advice for younger leaders?
Yes, I want to kind of piggyback on what Dr. Karen said, because I want to say that it is about the communication. A lot of times young people, so we don't have to really push them out there. They're going to do that. But even in communicating, it's not always what you say. Sometimes you got to practice active listening. You got to pay attention to what somebody else is saying, but not even just what's coming out of their mouth. You got to look at their body language. You got to see if they're buying into what you're talking about. If you can develop that skill set, oh, baby, it's going to take you a long, long way into the relationship development and getting to where you want to be. So invest in that. Really take some time to sit back and just kind of observe sometimes and listen to what people say about you getting your 2 cents in. Sometimes you have to kind of sit back to absorb some things so that you know how to come. And then when you do that, trust your gut, because God deposited everything inside of you that you're going to ever need to get to where you have to go. You just have to trust that. You have to trust your intuition. Trust that you've been given the knowledge and the insight to move accordingly, and then go out there and do your thing.
Go out there and kill the game, right? Is that what they say?
Yes.
I don't know, just do something out there. Anyway, go ahead, Dr. Lovella.
I would say learn the value of you. Learn the value of you in the sense of occupy the space, learn what you can from the space, master your skill set in the space, dominate the space, and then you could bring people into the space. What am I saying? Sometimes we tend to bring others into doors or open doors that was meant for us. And a lot of them don't have the capacity, the mental capacity or the emotional, when I said intelligence to be able to carry or take on the burden of what is for us. And because we don't know the value of us, we tend to pass on opportunities based on our insecurities. So once you're in that space, occupy the space, learn your skill set, master it, learning the value, your worth, if you will. Because we don't know our worth, we will undervalue a contract because we don't know the worth of who we are. And then after you occupy that space, master that space, then dominate that space. And that way you could get paid for your value, get paid for your worth. Learn the value in you.
I love it. Oh, I'm so excited. This was awesome. Thank you all so much. And thank you for those that have joined us live, those that will catch the replay. Again, I am Dr. Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison. And today on the 8 Queens Roundtable show and podcast, this was the Born to Lead edition. And we were discussing leadership. For those of you that may be just kind of jumping on at the tail end, we are actually getting ready for the Born to Lead Awakening the Leader Within virtual conference, which is happening next month, September the 9th and the 10th. Go to Eventbrite and purchase your ticket. Again, Saturday, September the 9th is all-day interactive workshops on how to develop your leadership skills. And we have a lineup, awesome lineup on both days. On Sunday, September the 10th is going to be all keynote lineup. Again, speaking on different areas of leadership and leadership development. And this is specifically for women entrepreneurs that are looking to or understand the importance of development, personal development, professional development, obviously leadership development, to be able to show up as the best version of themselves, right? And to ultimately be able to scale their business in the way that they want to. So Eventbrite, Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within, purchase your tickets. Also, Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. The book itself is available on Amazon as well as Barnes & Noble. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out. Please like and share the video. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Make sure you connect with the other panelists here as well. Oh, real quick, ladies, go ahead. Let us know. I know everyone has something coming up. Go ahead and let the audience know what you have coming up. Okay, so Dr. Karen, then Dr. Lovella, and then Angela.
Okay.
I would invite everyone to register for my Sister Leaders Conference, which is October 27th and 28th. The speaking part of the conference is virtual, so it is a global conference. The website is sisterleaders with an S conference.com. It is free registration. We're going to have a heck of a time on those 2 days, and so come join us.
Thank you for that. And join us in November the 10th and 11th in the Bahamas, as we are having our wealth transfer, the economic movements for leaders, for women leaders at that, as we have different speakers coming from Trinidad, the United States, and as we come together to empower leaders and help other leaders to build or form an alliance to start or create or establish business within the Caribbean. And that's November 10th and 11th, and you could also register event on Eventbrite.
And for me, I just wanted to say that I am on Empowered Mornings with the Fab Five, Monday through Friday. So check us out at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, where we empower your mornings. You can follow us at Empowered Mornings on social media and YouTube.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining today and just, basically kicking it around and sharing your expertise. And again, I am super excited to have you, Dr. Lovella, and you, Dr. Karen, as keynote speakers for the event. I know you guys are really going to be you dropped some gems this afternoon, much less for your presentation. So again, thank you all. And Angela, thank you for joining us today and for being a part of the Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within anthology. Thank you so much. And everyone, thanks again. Stay tuned. Like I said, make sure you grab your ticket on Eventbrite. Thanks for sharing this time with us. Make sure you like and share the broadcast out. And until next time. All right, everybody, take care.